दबाओ एक बार पूरा. Hello. So today we are going to study about projectile motion. Have you ever seen the projectile motion in your life? Yes, we have seen. Basically on playing the cricket, football, like these type of games. They have the projectile motion like when a ball is thrown like this or hit by the bat, then it goes like this somehow. And they are the projectiles. So what is the difference between linear motion and the projectile motion? In linear motion, velocity and the acceleration are in the same direction. What happens in the linear motion? See, when an object is thrown up and the acceleration is downwards, then the motion will be in a line. That's a linear motion. Suppose an object is thrown in the horizontal on the horizontal surface without any friction or maybe friction is there, then also it is a linear motion. But when an object is thrown making some angle theta with the horizontal, then it is known as the projectile motion. Why? Because at any instant acceleration is always downwards while its velocity is variable. At least at the starting point, acceleration and the velocity is not in the same direction. That's why this is known as a projectile motion. Now, we need to solve these type of problems by taking the axis. You can take any axis as the x-axis or any axis as the y-axis. It's not a compulsion content that you need to take this as the x-axis, okay? But it is highly recommended that in the normal content, in this type of projectile or horizontal projectile, take this axis, horizontal axis as the x-axis and vertical axis as the y-axis, so that we can solve the equations very easily. Otherwise, the complications will be there. If you want to study by taking this as the x-axis and this as the y-axis, then we will study somehow later. Okay? Take this as the x-axis, y-axis. So what will be the velocity along x-axis? Initial velocity actually, u cos theta. Initial velocity along y-axis, take the component of u, that will be u sin theta. Each vector can be resolved into its components. Okay? Any vector can be resolved into its component. According to the conveniency, we resolve the component of any vector. G is basically downwards. So acceleration along y-axis is minus g, while acceleration along x-axis is 0. Okay? How can we say that acceleration along the x-axis is 0? Because right now we are ignoring the friction. Okay? Ignore friction, and this projectile is taken only for few meters or few kilometers. If u is suppose 1000 km per second, then this type of problems cannot be solved using this projectile equation. Why? Because g is not constant. Even though what we are assuming that horizontal surface is flat, but if we talk about Earth, it's not a flat surface. It's spherical. So this is applicable only for few meter per second or just 1-2 km per second. Okay, now what we can write? X is equal to uxt plus half axt square. Also y is equal to uyt plus half ayt square. Now x is equal to u cos theta into t plus 0, because ax is 0. Again, y is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. Right? What is vx at any instant? U cos theta. Better to write ux plus axt, and vy is equal to uy plus ayt. But as ax is 0, So Vx is Ux is equal to u cos theta. This represents that along x-axis horizontal velocity is always constant, while along y-axis velocity will be u sin theta minus gt. Right? Note down these equations. Okay. Okay. Now, from this equation, okay, from equation of y, I am writing it again. Okay, tell me the displacement along from the point A and B along y-axis only. Along y-axis, the displacement is, see, positive, negative, or something. It will be 0, right? Because it is moving for upwards, then downwards. The final displacement. Okay, just suppose I am seeing point A and B from here. Then whether the object is moved upward or downwards? No, it is on the same line, on the point A and B, right? So the displacement along y-axis is, actually put it delta y. So it is 0, u sin theta into t minus half gt square for the point A and B. So t is equal to 2u sin theta by g, or you can write 2uy upon g. This is the time of flight. This is the time of flight. Write down this time of flight, and if you want to remember it, you can. Okay. Now, this is the range along horizontal axis. So basically, r is equal to, use this x is equal to r u cos theta into 2u sin theta by g. Okay, simplify, 2u square sin theta cos theta by g. Okay, in trigonometry we have studied that 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So u square sin 2 theta by g. Try to remember it. And one more thing is there, height. Maximum height of the projectile. Okay. So how will you find the maximum height? Try to think by yourself. Can we take the x as the r by 2? Yes, we can take. No problem. Can we take the time of flight divided by 2? Yes, we can take. But don't use these two methods. Why? Because right now it's a horizontal projectile. When we will move to another oblique projectile, then these two methods will not be useful to solve maximum height. So what you need to remember, at maximum height, what happens? Vertical component of velocity becomes 0, right? This is the only thing that you need to remember. At maximum height, vertical component of velocity becomes 0. Okay, see. Okay, let me explain this. Just suppose this marker is here. If it is moving upward, it means the maximum height is yet to come. If it is moving downwards, then it means it is coming from the maximum height. So if it is moving upward, it means maximum height is yet to come. If it is moving downwards, then maximum height has already been achieved. It means the point where it is neither moving upward nor moving downwards is the point where the height is maximum. Okay. So basically at maximum height velocity, vertical component of velocity becomes 0. Right? Now use it. Just a second. Okay. So what equation we will use? First we will find the time from here, and then we will solve. No. There is another equation like vy square is equal to uy square plus 2ay into delta y. This is the best condition you can use to find the value of maximum height. How? H is equal to Vy has become 0 and Ay is minus g. So basically delta y, that is actually H for this instant, okay, for this condition. U square sin square theta divided by UG. Okay. So basically what you need to remember, H R delta y, okay, or sorry, H maximum height of the projectile, range of the projectile, and time of flight of the projectile. Okay. Okay, and also X and Y. Just write down first. There is another equations, X and Y. So what we need to find, trajectory. Trajectory is the path what the object goes through. If you connect all the points, from where the object has been passed, is known as the trajectory of the motion. So how will you find? I'll try to eliminate t. So what we will do? We will find t from y and put it on x. No, but it's a quadratic equation, so this will be complicated. Okay, try to find t from x and put in y. Yes. This is easy. Okay, so basically t is equal to x upon u cos theta and put it on y, u sin theta into okay, what we have done, we substituted the value of t from x to y, not y to x. Why? Because it's a quadratic equation. So substitution of t from this to this is complicated, relatively more complicated. Okay. Now just simplify it. Y is equal to x tan theta minus g x square divided by 2 u square. You can write cos square theta here or sec square theta in the numerator. Okay, this is the equation of trajectory. Just we need to find the value of y in terms of x and r and try to eliminate theta. Try to eliminate u. My mistake. Try to eliminate u square and write down this equation of trajectory in terms of x, y, theta and r. Because in some problems solving the problem by this equation is relatively more difficult rather than this. This will be an easier method. So first we will try to find out this. So what was our u square sin theta cos theta to divide by g, right? Just before some time we have already found the value of r. Now try to eliminate the value of u square. What we will do? U square is gr upon 2 sin theta cos theta. Put it here. Y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square sec square theta divided by 2. Okay. U square is r g divided by 2. Okay. 2 sin theta cos theta. 2 is cancelled out. G is cancelled out. Y is equal to x tan theta. Take it common. 1 minus x. Okay. What we have taken common? Tan theta. So basically sec theta and cos theta is cancelled out one time, and this is basically tan theta. So x tan theta. Okay, let me write it again. Y is equal to x tan theta minus x square tan theta divided by r. X tan theta 1 minus x by r. Okay. Write down this equation as the equation of trajectory. Okay. So what you need to remember, this and this, and if you don't want to remember, just increase your solving power. Okay. Write down. Okay. So what we have studied, equation of trajectory in two forms: time of flight, range of the projectile, and the maximum height of it. Okay. Now we will start solving some problems related to this. Suppose two projectiles are thrown with the different angles theta 1 and theta 2 with the same initial speed. Speed is same, not the velocity. Okay, their angles are different from the horizontal. So if they can, just tell me whether they can have the same range. Let me think about this. R1 is equal to R2, u square sine 2 theta 1 divided by g is equal to u square sine 2 theta 2 divided by g. So basically sine 2 theta 1 is equal to sine 2 theta 2 only. So theta 1 equal to theta 2 is the only solution, right? Wrong. This is the condition, right? But there is another condition. How will you find? Take it here. Sine 2 theta 1 minus sine 2 theta 2 equal to 0. If you know a bit about trigonometry, sine means c minus sine t is basically 2 sine c minus t by 2 into cos c plus d by 2 is equal to 0. So whether if theta 1 equal to theta 2, it is obvious that the projectile will have the same range. But if theta 1 plus theta 2 is 90 degree, then also they will have the same range. Okay, this is not the only case for which the two projectiles can have the same range. Okay, this is one another case in which two projectiles can have the same range. It means if one projectile makes an angle 30 degree and another projectile makes an angle 60 degree with the same axis, like horizontal axis, then they will have the same range. And if one projectile making an angle theta with the x axis and another theta with the y axis, then also they will have the same range. Okay, because from the horizontal it will be 90 minus theta, right? So the condition for same range was R1 equal to R2. If R1 equal to R2 and theta 1 is not equal to theta 2, then theta 1 plus theta 2 is equal to 90 degree. It means complementary angles provide same range if u is same, obviously. Then time t1 is equal to 2u sin theta 1 by g, while t2 is equal to 2u sin theta 2 by g. If one angle is theta and another angle is 90 minus theta, then what will be the ratio of t1 by t2? Tan theta. How? Because sin theta 2 is actually cos theta 1. Okay. H1 by H2 is tan square theta. How? Should I solve it? Okay. H is what? U square sin square theta by 2g. H1. And H2 is what? U square sin square 90 minus theta divided by 2g. This is basically u square cos square theta by 2g. Try to just take the ratio. H1 by H2 is equal to sin square theta by cos square theta. Okay. Now try to find the range in terms of T1 and T2. Something in related. Somehow R is related to T1 and T2. Multiplication of T1 into T2. Try to find by yourself. Okay. Let me find. R is equal to u square sin theta into sin theta into cos theta divided by g 2 times. So if we multiply t1 and t2, t1 into t2 is equal to 2u sin theta by g into 2u cos theta by g. So 4u square sin theta cos theta divided by g square t1 into t2. Basically t1 into t2 is equal to 2r by g, right? Note down this. This is the condition. What we are doing actually, we are trying to find all the conditions regarding the condition for same range and different angles. Okay. Find h1 plus h2. U square upon 2g. Okay. Write down. These all are the conditions that you will find the questions in your sheet. That all the questions are related to this can be solved with the help of these formulas. And don't try to remember all the formulas. Just try to remember the condition. You can find these conditions, the supplementary conditions, by yourself at your home. Just try to remember one thing for the same range, that is theta and 190 minus theta. Two complementary angles provide the same range. Okay. Don't try to remember all these formulas. Otherwise, this will be a difficult task for you to remember all the 50, 100 formulas in just one chapter. Just try to remember the condition. Okay. Complementary angles provide same range. Okay. Just one question. Let me take one question. If you can throw a ball up to a maximum height small h, then how much range can you throw it? What is the maximum possible range for which you can throw a ball? What is the question? You can throw a ball to a maximum height h, and what you need to find? Maximum possible range. See, small h is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. If you want to find the maximum height, how will you find? Put theta is equal to 90 degree. Why? That is so simple. Sin theta is maximum. Sin theta is maximum at 90 degree, right? U square upon 2g. And what is the range? U square sin 2 theta by g. Maximum value of r is, see, sin theta, maximum value of sin theta is 1 at an angle 45 degree. How? Because 2 theta should be 90 degree. So r max is u square upon g. If you can throw a ball up to height this u square by 2g, that is equal to h, then r is equal to 2h. Okay. If you want to remember one thing, that r max is at which angle r max occurs, at which angle the projectile will have the maximum range? 45 degree. How? Because this sin 2 theta is maximum at an angle 45 degree. But this is so simple, no one is going to ask me this question. Okay. Suppose two balls are there at a distance d for the same height h, and a projectile is thrown such that it just crosses the two balls. Okay. What is the question? A projectile is thrown at an angle theta with the velocity u. Actually, u is not given. A projectile is thrown such that it passes two balls. It passes two balls at a distance d in between them and height h at time t1 and t2. Okay. What you need to find? You need to find the value of h. How will you find? Try to think by yourself. Okay, let me tell you. Take y is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. Why? Let me explain. This is the quadratic equation in which if we put h is y equal to h, it means there are two possibilities. There are two times when y is equal to h, at this point and this point. And t1 and t2, if t1 and t2 are given, then h is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. This is the quadratic equation, and if we simplify it, gt square minus 2u sin theta t plus 2h, okay, is equal to 0. What we need to find? Value of h. How will you find? How can we write this and this term without using this, because u is not given? Right. Product of root t1 into t2 is equal to 2h by g. So basically h is equal to g t1 t2 by 2. Okay.